Hello, Brovs. We're back with new book arrivals. I believe this one's 215. Since I got the last one wrong, I thought it was 213, but it was 214, I believe. I believe. So yeah, I believe this is number 215. I'll start it off with the fact that somebody I follow, I can't remember who it is. They do mostly romance. But they also feature book page on their site or on their channel, so I saw these at the library today and said, fuck it, I'll pick some up too and see what it is. Mushroom gastronomy. Gastronomy. So yeah, I don't know why I'm getting these. Just something else to collect that's worth nothing. A Farewell to Alms. That Librarian. How to Survive a Culture War. Alright, here we go. Jones spoke out against book banning. Here's the thing. Yeah, I don't blame him for descending, because this whole book banning in a public school is absolute rubbish. I mean, if you got the public paying for the school, unless you have a private library that you're financially supporting, you don't have a right to put any book in it. You don't. And they should be appropriate, and there should be no books that have graphic sex, violence, etc. in a elementary school, unless you're heathens. I mean, I'm a heathen, and even this heathen is against schools just providing a book just because you think a kid should read it, and you're a weirdo that wants kids to read obvious perversion for the sake of whatever you believe in. It's not right. Anyway, I got these. They're always good for kindling, because I know I won't be interested in much of it, but here we go. The Magic at Findhorn, an eyewitness account by Paul Hawken. No relation to Hawk Tua. The full, fascinating, true story of a miraculous community where a modern garden and Eden grows, where people are reborn and faith, love, and energy triumph. Sounds bullshitish, but here we go. More astonishing than the secret life of plants. In Findhorn, they grow 40-pound cabbages, 8-foot delphiniums, and roses that bloom in the snow. What is the source of this spectacular success? Experts have concluded that there must be some vital unknown at work. Now, Paul Hawken, who went as a skeptic, tells us why. Is this place real, or is this a fiction book? If I found a crappy copy of this, I would actually read it, but 1975. Don't know what this is, but Into the Kingdom of the Wind. There have been stories in the press and other media about a small community in the north of Scotland called Findhorn, where people talk to plants with amazing results. All right. Interesting. The Well of the Silent Harp, the story of Robert Burns, which I assume is the poet. No, this is a fucking novel. I thought it was a... No, I don't really care anymore. But it might still be worth something. I'm not really interested in the novel. So it's like a historical novel on Robert Burns. Interesting, but I probably will not keep it. I thought it was a biography, and I didn't read the back cover. I didn't think I had to. And it says the story of Robert Burns. I figured it was just the fucking story of Robert Burns, but there we go. This book I didn't really look into either, but The World at My Back, Thomas Mell. My local library has books, paperbacks, 3 for $1. and hardcovers 3 for $2. So I picked up 6 paperbacks, and this is one of them. And the story seems interesting enough. Addicted to culture, author Thomas Mell has built up an impressive personal library. His heart is in these books, and he loves to feel them at his back. Their promise and challenge, as he writes. But in the middle of a violent dissociative episode, when they become ballast to his increasingly manic self, he disperses almost overnight what had taken decades to gather. Nor is this all he loses. Descending further and into an incomprehensible madness, he loses friendships in his career as a novelist and a celebrated playwright. But the most savage cruelty is that he no longer either knows or understands himself. I assume this is a fiction book translated from the German. I don't know. I would like to tell you about a loss, my book collection. It no longer exists. I love it. I actually wrote a flash fiction piece about such a thing, where a bookseller gets rid of all of his books. Maybe I'll dig that up somewhere. Not only did he get rid of all of his books, but he burned them. Not this guy, my book. Or my short story. And look, a fucking Occidentalism. The West in the eyes of its enemies. What the hell is this? What the fuck? Oh, well, it's a great place to put whatever this was. A sticky note or whatever. Good job, buddy. Whoever you were. The West in the eyes of its enemies. Ian Baruma and Avishai Margalit. This grandly illuminating study of 2 centuries of anti-Western ideas traces the historical roots of a virulent set of stereotypes about Westerners in the West. A cluster of notions and prejudices that Ian Baruma and Avishai Margalit call Occidentalism. Here's another book I got at that sale. Ghetto Rebellion to Black Liberation. I assumed it was American, but it may be somewhere else. I was 5 years old. 3 years later to Chicago. Here in 1990, I witnessed the race riots from an aunt. So it's basically Chicago area. Black interest. I've been seeing a lot of Chicago books lately. So maybe that's going to become a thing. I'd like to continue with the books from that. Book Collecting, a Modern Guide, edited by Jean Peters. Or is it Jean Peters? Originally, I picked this up because it had a Mylar jacket on it, but then I noticed it was about book collecting. It's probably not worth much. There was another book about collecting first editions, or how to tell first editions, but it seemed like it was out of date. Secondhand prose used bookshop, Canton Library. This is not it, but what is book collecting all about? Buying books from dealers, buying at auction, the antiquarian book market. Book probably has zero value, but since it's oldish, probably 77, there you go. Was a rare book, different from any other book. Don't believe I have it in my... I have about 10 or 15 books on book collecting. I don't recall this one being one of them, but I can look and put it right over there. Let's see what we got over here, bruv. Oh, shit. 120 banned books, books and printing, books and bidders of Books and Men. Talks on book collecting, the humanity of words, old picture books, the Renaissance book hunters. I can't read those other spines. They're dead to me. Let's see if I can fit it in there, because it's going on the shelf right next to books and printing. Very well. Oh my gosh, my knee. My effing knee. All right. This book isn't exactly pretty, and I don't know why this is on here, but somebody put, what's that called, duct tape on her? One of those books of criticism, literary criticism, and the St. Vincent Millay Revised Edition. There she is, the hooker herself. What are these called? Twains, that's it. Does it mention Jeffers? It does. 92. She was a friend of Robinson Jeffers, one of my all-time favorites. So, let's see what it says about Jeffers. Nowhere in the rest of creation, according to Sonnet 13, which seems to parallel Robinson Jeffers' idea. Robinson Jefferson's ideas. Is there such a disturbing alien and element as man? I will look at that later. I don't know why I'm setting them up like that. Here's the fourth book I got from the library. Wait Until Spring, Bandini, John Fante. A writer who I'm not particularly enthused about, even though he was a favorite of Charles Bukowski, who probably wrote the forward to this book. No, I think this might have been when Fante was still alive. The Old Black Sparrow. Is it a first? Might be. 9th printing. Not worth that much then, probably. Probably not worth that much regardless. Grave Matters, a journey through the modern funeral industry to a natural way of burial. Mark Harris. Grave Matters follows families who found in green burial a more natural, more economic, and ultimately more meaningful alternative to the tried and toxic send-off. I had originally had, what's his name? Thomas Lynch's book on funerals, but once I found this one, I grabbed this instead. Ex-library, but don't matter. So I have a ton of books on that subject. Death and Graves. Rocking Down the Dial, the Detroit sound of radio. Not a particular music fan, or the fan of Motown. But this is Detroit history, so now it's mine. To Bob. Hey, thanks. I didn't even know this fucking guy knew my name. He knew in advance. To Bob, best always. And he signed it too. So if it has any value, now it has more value. Awful nice of him to pre-sign it for me without an expectation of ever knowing me. See if I can find the other. There it is. There's another. Simply Shakespeare. Original Shakespearean text with a modern line-for-line translation. Romeo and Juliet. Oh, no. Oh, that's colored. I thought it was fucking stained on the top. Yeah, Shakespeare. You know him. I think I have other Simply Shakespeare. I can see 12th Night right over there. So I definitely do. What else did I get from that library? What's that? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So that's the paperbacks. Let's see what the hardcovers hold. I don't see them. Or did I only get 3 hardcover? I did get 3 hardcover. But where are they? Oh, yeah. St. Vincent Millay is the second one, and where's the third? Wasn't that? I don't know. I don't see it. Where did it go? Maybe it is in there. I don't see it. The Man Who Would Be Sherlock. No. Maybe it was this book. I don't think it was, though. Anyways, let's move on. Agatha Christie, Postern of Fate. Postern of Fate. 1973, copy with a dust jacket. No one really needs to introduce her. Agatha Christie. The Pink Motel. By Carol Ryrie Brink. Seems to have some value, more value with the dust jacket, but I couldn't find no jacket, so. Illustrated by Sheila Greenwald, 1959. Don't know what it's about, but 50 cents I got it. Ditto with this. Ditto with all of them, but where the hell's that third book? Now it's going to drive me crazy. Trying to think of what it was. Maybe it fell on the floor or the ground in my car. It might have. I don't know. Trying to think what I got. All right. Prose Poems by Khalil Gibran, 1970s edition. I don't know if I have this. I plan on selling the ones I do have, so it doesn't matter. This one's inscribed by parents of somebody, 1977. Toby Tyler, another book I have no clue of, but it's about something in the circus. 10 Weeks with the Circus by James Otis, which is enough to interest me. Not that I care about the circus, but I do have some books on the circus. I didn't even look this one up. I have no clue if it has value. I doubt it does. These sort of books are usually like Hans, Christian Andersen, those sort of things. The junior deluxe editions. Einstein in Love. Not a fan of Einstein, but I do have a few books on him. The guy just always struck me as a weirdo and a piece of shit as a human. Not that I'm some kind of great human, but at least I don't cheat on my wives. And then there's also Einstein for beginners. Neither's worth much. This one maybe. I doubt it. $5 probably. But this is about when he was in love with science and life. Blah, blah, blah. The Horse and His Boy, C.S. Lewis. Chronicles of Narnia, color collector's edition. They have these little pages. I know I have some other book in this edition by Lewis, but I don't know which it is, and I'm not walking over to look at it, so this is all I know. The fact that it has a $1.50 price tag probably means it's not worth anything, and it likely isn't, but I like the cat on the back, so. Beethoven's Hair, an extraordinary historical odyssey and a scientific mystery solved. I doubt it's about his hair at all, but blah, blah, blah was dying in 1827, a young musician named Ferdinand. They probably took his hair and figured out what really killed him. An oculus relic was passed down for more than a century through Hiller's family, and during the Second War, it somehow found its way to a town of somewhere Nazi-occupied Denmark. There it was given to a local doctor K. Fleming, who was deeply involved in the effort to give aid to hundreds of frightened hunted Jews. I eventually put it up for sale at Sotheby's. We're two American Beethoven enthusiasts and blah, blah, blah. Check this DA. Yep. His deafness and his demise. Tells you what killed him. Figured that's what it was. Although he did have good hair. God, War, and Providence, the epic struggle of Roger Williams and his Narragansett Indians against the Puritans of New England. Obviously, the title explains itself. I wonder whose these stickers are. I see these a lot lately. I wonder whose those are. There's got to be some bookstore around here. The Wilderness of Ruin, a tale of madness, fire, and the hunt for America's youngest serial killer. I probably don't have this book. I don't see it down there. And the true crime. The Wilderness of Ruin. No, it's not there. All right, so pass this along to me mother so she can read it. The United States and Britain in Prophecy. It's by, who's this guy? Herbert Armstrong, recognized and respected by leaders in government, industry, and education around the world, is pastor general of the Worldwide Church of God and editor-in-chief of the Plain Truth magazine. Obviously, he talks about the United States and Great Britain in prophecy of the Bible. I don't know what his outcomes are, but that's what he talks about. Sample the best suds in Grand Rapids history. In the 19th century, dozens of blah, blah, blah. To the thirst of the rapidly growing city of Grand Rapids established a beer culture that would dominate Western Michigan until Prohibition turned off the spigots. Furniture City turned back into Beer City, USA, blah, 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 blah. Grand Rapids beer. What is this, the founding of Founders Beer Company? Why does it show that? I wonder if it is the story of Founders. Don't know, but it's about Michigan. And I like craft beer. And Michigan probably has some of the best in the country, so this book is somewhat offensive. The Junior Witch's Handbook, a kid's guide to white magic, spells, and rituals. Hey kids, become a witch. Which, I mean, I don't believe in witchcraft. I mean, you could practice a witch and call it witchcraft, but does it exist? Not really. It's just kind of weird that you write a book for kids to become a witch. It just, I don't know. I wonder if there's any books on how to become a Satanist for children. Atheism for children. Back when my kid asked me, do you believe in God? I just, it's not up to me to tell you what to think, kid. Maybe I should have. My kid went through a Jesus phase at one point because of a friend, but that soon dissipated. I did not try to stop it because it's up to my kid to decide. Meditation, keep calm and look for the good. Healing, family, love. Look at this shit. This is kind of fucking bizarre. Beltane. No, it's not pronounced Beltane. It's pronounced something else. Just weird to me. Crystal grid for the night before a test. What the fuck? Oh, man. Charming guide to harnessing your magical powers for good. Fucking joke. Charles Dickens. Christmas with Mr. Pickwick. There, Carol. I know how much you love to read, so I chose this selected... Does this say selected? Looks like selectacle readings in favor of the season. Enjoy. Love, Kathy. Christmas 1990. Christmas with Mr. Pickwick by Charles Dickens. Being chapters from the Pickwick Papers, illustrated by Fritz Creedle. I don't know if this has any value. I paid $2 for it, which I think is a fair deal for a book that's in pretty good shape with a slipcase. Illustrated. See if I can stick it back in there. I can. I'm a champ. Understanding Aleister Crowley's Thoth Tarot by Lon Milo Duquette, new edition. Obviously, when I first saw it, I was like, this has some value. That looked like the fucking cover of William Cooper's book. Where'd it go? Is that the one they used? Was the one from Aleister Crowley? Let's go back to that. That would be very interesting. The Pale Horse. Behold the Pale Horse. Where the fuck did it go? Maybe I was imagining what I saw. It's the last flip through. I'm not doing it again. Come on. Show it to me. Not really interested in this at all, but I think that's what I thought it was, but maybe not. Pretty sure what I saw was what I saw, but they all seem to... There it is. Knight of Wands. I guess that isn't it. Looks like it in an offhand way, though. Anyway, Aleister Crowley's Thoth Tarot, probably no relation to the Thoth Tarot. The man who would be Sherlock, the real-life adventures of Arthur Conan Doyle. Maybe this is the one I picked up at the library. I don't think... No, I got this at the thrift store. So it definitely was not it. I'm going to have to look in my car, see if I do have it. What year was this? 2017. The real-life adventures of Arthur Conan Doyle. Do I have it down there? What the hell is Doyle? Don't even see him. There's Sherlock Holmes. Holmes. It's pretty funny. I still have never read a book on Doyle. No, I don't see it there. Don't see it. All right, that's all. Goodbye. Good boy.